Hi, my name is KARL'S. I'd like to discuss how we use a pencil. Hi, my name is KARL'S. I'm going to talk about sharpening a pencil today. A useful way to work with the pencil is to sharpen it so that you can use the side edge to create tone, and it allows you to keep the pencil close to the surface, and you can also get a nice line working close to the surface. We'll discuss that. I'd like to talk about how to use or get an edge and also a soft tone for the development of conceptual form, describing surfaces, and also for doing a quick gestural drawing that stays soft. So what we want to do is to create an edge on this pencil that we can use to make a soft stroke. If your shape is kind of like this, and your staff is something like this, when you lay this down, you're going to hit edges. So you're not going to get a nice broad stroke. Right now, that's what this pencil looks like. Hopefully, when you were sharpening, you didn't gouge into the material like this, creating these wedges. If you do that, it's going to weaken the exposed portion of your compressed charcoal. And sand this into a shape that looks like this. Notice that this is slightly convex. It's a cone-like shape, but it's slightly convex. And the wood shaft is down here like this. So this is about 3/4 distance from here to here, and this will be about 1/2 from there to there. When you lay this down like this on a surface so that this edge hits, it's slightly convex. It will create a stroke in here that doesn't have edges on both sides. If you lay this down, you're going to get an edge here and here on both sides. So let's sharpen this and see if we can get that to work. So in essence, here are the simple tools. This is a charcoal pencil, 6B, soft. This is a pastel pencil. It's a pit pastel. We can also use pastel sticks, charcoal sticks. Doesn't matter whether they're round or square. We've got Prisma pencils here. There's a variety of things that you can sharpen in this manner. Sandpaper. We've got this variety. And sandpaper pads that you get from the hardware store. You can buy a large sheet. I would suggest that you buy 120 grit, 100 grit, 80 grit. Utility knife. There are various types of utility knives. You can also use a single edge razor blade. I'll start with the razor blade. The way we're handling this is with the razor blade. So you get your finger back on the safety edge of the blade. And I'm left-handed, so you just get the essence of how this works and proceed from there. You place the blade. We're not whittling like this. There's no control of whittling. Same thing here. We're not whittling like this. There's no control. Once it takes off, there's no control. What we're actually doing is placing the blade and pushing it through like this. What it does is it relieves the wood, and you can get greater or shallower depth by the way you angle this blade. See what I'm talking about here, right? And what you want to do is to do this in such a way that you don't take any of the compressed charcoal material here. All right, now let's switch to this blade, a utility knife blade, and it's the same process. We're kind of pushing through. If it's a sharp blade, it moves nice and easy. What you don't want to do is to dig into or gouge the charcoal. Now I'm doing this very slowly so that you can see what I'm talking about. After a while, you can speed this process up. And you'll notice that I'm pushing it through with the thumb that holds the actual tool, actual pencil. pushing the blade through. Now you could say, depends on how philosophical you are about it, that you're pushing the blade through, but some might say, well no, you're drawing the pencil back with the hand that's holding the pencil. It's up to you to decide which is doing what. So basically I'm relieving wood from about 1/2 inch. 1/2 inch of the compressed charcoal material. And I'm creating a tapered shaft that goes to that about 3/4 of an inch long with 1 inch of the compressed material that you're drawing with at the end. Alright? That allows you to take this compressed charcoal and lay it down without hitting the wood so that you can make a stroke that includes the whole distance of the exposed pencil. I'm going to sharpen this by stroking this forward and back. That's one of the strokes. Forward and back like this. I'm also rotating it with my hand as I do that stroke. From side to side stroke while I'm rotating. And now I'm going to rock it this way at the same time. So, you remember you can get both line and tone without lifting the pencil. You've got this angle on it against the paper, and you go cross axis for tone, and you stroke with the axis for line. With the axis, cross axis. With the axis, notice I'm turning my hand. Turning my hand to keep the line. Turning my hand to keep the line. Cross axis. Turning my hand to keep the stroke. Stroke into line. Line into stroke. Line into stroke, and we lose it. Okay. So there's a lot of variables that can be accomplished with this. Let's take a sphere. Indicate a sphere. Notice I did that with a soft stroke. So I'm not completely committed to it. It's not a hard line. And we have a light source, say from here. The light's hitting this surface of the sphere, right? I want to create some bounced light on this. So I'm not going into a whole explanation about how to use light, but I'm going into an explanation about how to use tone. So here we've got on this surface a core shadow. There's a core shadow, nice and soft and accomplished relatively quickly. And reflected light in there, right? So I can make this a little harder along the edge. Here. Right? The light source. Light is up here. And over here. Core shadow. Core shadow here. Cast shadow here. A little darker, a little softer as it goes. And we can actually even use some tone to give a little half tone and make the whole sphere feel a little rounder. So what we're able to do is to use tone to describe the surface of form. We can use tone to describe the surface of form. Right? Surface form change. So high, low, on its way from one surface to another surface. So that's one way to use this and to use it quickly. That's a shitty sphere.